What's going on? So, this is video number three, the third successful habit that the real estate wholesaler person should be involved with, should have, and this habit is getting to know, okay, a good real estate loan officer. Now you're going to say, "Hey, wait a minute! I'm a real estate wholesaler. I'm not doing any loans. I'm not getting loans. I don't, I'm not selling any." Why are you saying that? Okay, let me explain something to you. As I've said before in many videos, it's all about exit strategy. Whatever you're looking at a property, you want to know what your buyer's business model is, what your buyer is going to do with that property. And then once you know that, you can speak to the intelligence and say, hey, you fund this deal and you add XYZ to it, fix the roof, fix the plumbing, you add a bathroom, etc., convert this garage into a livable, bedroom or something. You're going to make this is going to be your ROI. You're going to make money on this thing. Does that make sense? That's what your job is to do. So why am I saying get involved in a loan officer? I'm going to tell you why right now. Because retail presupposes retail. We talked about that many times before in my YouTube channel, also my Facebook group. But here's the thing. I want you to think like a flipper, okay, or a buyer builder, okay, because that's who your client is. Your client, your buddies, these guys you're going to be signing contracts to. You got to know their business model, and for them, it's very important to know. Not you, I know that, but it's not about you though. It's about your buyer. It's important for your buyer to really know kind of what the loan things are, because they're going to do things to that property, and they're going to have a demographic in mind of who's going to buy it. Okay, and when the vast majority of all properties that are bought retail in America are with loans. That just are, okay? And these loans, most of them are government-backed loans, okay? So the government's underwriters, these guys, they're going to have they're going to. I mean, they underwrite everything. They're the standard by which everything's sold. Okay, so you really want to know that. Okay, so your buyers is always kind of figuring out like what kind of loans available are there for certain kinds of buyers. Like if you have a house out in the country, a USDA loan maybe it's 100% financing most of the time for your buyers, and so USDA is going to have some investor overlays. They're going to have various requirements that the house has to fit so that the can qualify for the loan. Does that make sense? Okay, so there's a whole bunch of these things, and they're always changing dynamically. So if you build a relationship with your lender, okay, and kind of get to know what kind of loan programs are out there, that's really going to help you. So then when you're talking to your buyer, right, you're looking, let's say you find a house and you get a house under contract, and you're kind of looking at all the repairs it needs. You can call Bob the builder, Joe the rehabber, and say, hey man, I got this deal, and these are some of the issues that you're going to have to address when you repair it. Okay, FHA, for example, it's a government-backed loan, and a lot of people like these because it's minimal, like 3% down. They don't need a lot of money, first-time home buyers kind of thing, but they're really, really strict. Like you can't have earth to wood contact. So when you're looking at a house, you think you ought to look as a wholesaler. Do you think you ought to be looking for that? Yeah, I mean, because your buyer's going to buy it and put a bunch of money into it. Yeah, he knows what the FHA stuff is, but you want to be as proactive as possible. If you have a house, and here's a house, and the ground's sloping like this, that ain't going to pass, my friend. Okay, so your buyer, know what he's going to have to do to make the ground, instead of doing this, he's going to have to make the ground do that. How's he going to do that? Spend a bunch of money, won't he? You get a backhoe in there or whatever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? How much is that going to cost? $5,000? That kind of stuff. So you want to know that these various nuances. And I'm telling you these habits to build, to engender and for you as a wholesaler to really help you be successful. If you build a relationship with a lender and you can speak intelligently to your buyer builder or your builder or just your flipper, about what this house is going to need so that he can get it sold to an end buyer who's getting financing, your job's going to be so much smoother. Okay, that's what this whole thing's about. It's about building relationships, bringing value to both buyers and sellers, and you get paid doing it. Okay, so if you need any help, you want some clarification, maybe you want to talk about some joint venture, let me know below, and we'll schedule a free strategy session. Maybe do some JV together. Godspeed. We'll see you in the next video for the next habit.